Its largest wildfire is getting closer to being fully contained. The Shearwood Creek fire in Jasper County has been burning since Thursday. East Texas News Weekend's Justin Hardcastle has more.
Jasper County has officially declared a disaster so that resources can be brought from around the state and the country to help. The fire at its biggest has been the biggest in the state, but first responders are getting closer to getting it contained.
As of right now, the fire is at approximately 3,700 acres and 70% contained. The hope is that as the afternoon kind of wears on, we'll get a better idea of what the fire's going to do, and therefore we can start opening up roads and potentially lifting evacuations.
The Texas A&M Forest Service says they are concerned about weather factors that could change the direction of the fire.
Potential isolated thunderstorms that will lead to some downdrafts and variable winds. That's what we're kind of afraid of.
More than 40 homes were evacuated as the fire grew. Judge Mark Allen says the crews have made progress on containment, so some of these people will be able to go back home.
I went ahead and opened up a recreational road, the Samway Parkway 255. I've opened that road up, and I've also relieved the evacuation for all residents in the county roads that are south of 255. Properties that are to the north, the county roads that are to the north of recreational road 255, between the Natchez River and Texas Highway 63, we are still under an evacuation because that is still a hot zone. However, I am looking at opening things up a little bit more this afternoon after we get our intel from our evening briefing.
Justin Hardcastle, East Texas News Weekend.
Now, Judge Allen says although the evacuation orders have been lifted for residents who live south of 255, they should still try to avoid the area if they can.